My mother's voice sent a chill through me, and I ran my mind through all the things I had done and came up with nothing she could find fault with. I went downstairs to the living room to see her glaring at the TV. She told me to come closer, check the TV. My finger came off slightly dirty. My mom furiously asked me why I didn't clean it. I was in the process of telling her that I just wiped it 2 days ago when a slap landed on my face. My head whipped to the side and my eyes welled up with tears. Bit them back. I wouldn't let her see me cry. She dragged my hair and forced me to look at her. She yelled in my face that it was her fault for giving birth to a useless daughter, and I should clean the TV before her guests arrived and saw what an incompetent daughter she had. She shoved me towards the wall, and I barely caught myself in time to avoid hitting it. She stormed off to her room, and I quickly cleaned the TV. I cleaned everywhere else in the living room before going to check the food in the kitchen. It was still warm, and I heaved a sigh of relief. I took a bag of peas from the fridge for my sore cheek and dragged myself up to my room. It was in the comfort of my room that I let myself cry. After a few minutes, the bell rang, and my mom opened the door for her guests. They were some of her colleagues. I listened as she laughed with them and complimented them. I wondered what they would do if they found out how crazy my mom was. I knew it had been going on for a long time, but my first recollection of my mom acting crazy was when I was 7. We were out shopping together, and I saw a toy I liked. It was some plastic toy, and I wanted to have it at all costs. When my mom said no, I threw a tantrum in the middle of the store, and she had to get it for me. I remember being happy, clutching my new toy to my chest. I didn't know what awaited me later that day. When we got home, my mom asked me to bring the new toy and made me kneel down in front of her. With an eerily calm voice, she told me never to try what I did at the store. She said she was going to punish me so that I could take her seriously. She held my hand down on the table and smashed the toy on my fingers. I screamed, and she told me to shut up or she would get the knife. I choked back my cries and screams as she smashed the toy on my fingers with such force I thought I would lose my hands. My hands had been swollen for a long time and still had the scar where the toy had broken into my skin. I began to fear her from that day on. At least she stopped locking me in the basement. Locking me in the basement had been her favorite thing for a while. Sometimes she would forget me there for 2 to 3 days. I started leaving food down there so I could have something to eat the next time she wanted to hide me there. She made sure I had no friends in school or anywhere else. I belonged to her and no one else.
I'm finally ready to talk about this, but I'm not going to get into deep details about everything because mainly I'm just not comfortable and um, I'm trying not to get emotional by getting into too many details. Um, as a child, I never knew my father. I still don't. I never had a great relationship with my mom, and I still don't. I was abused a lot, and a lot of black parents, I don't know if they all do, but they like to um, consider abuse discipline. It's still abuse, no matter how you want to look at it to make yourself feel better. So, what I want to say is, parents, please stop traumatizing your kids and then wondering what is wrong with them. Because the same question could be asked for you. What is wrong with you? And I understand that sometimes it's hard to self-reflect and take accountability for something that you think is a problem or for someone that you think is a problem. I've heard that a lot from my siblings, from my mom. from other people, because a lot of people that she knows unfortunately don't really know me because they only hear what she has to say. When you're labeled the problem, and a lot of other people don't know what really goes on or what went on behind closed doors, it's easy for them to believe whatever they hear from one side of the story. Back in the Caribbean, I was born in Grenada. That's in the Caribbean. I already said that, but yeah. I was beaten a lot, and but I don't know, it still happens, but even teachers would beat kids, and uncles and aunties. And the last time I heard, I don't know how true it is, but apparently teachers don't beat kids anymore back in from where I came from anyway. Um, I really don't know how true it is. But to be honest, if I were an adult, if I had kids, let's just say if I was still back home and I had kids and teachers were still beating kids, I would not, no, I would not allow that. Let's just say that. I would not allow teachers or even aunties and uncles to put a hand on my child. If you think that there's a problem, tell me about it and I'll handle it my way. That's just the way I look at it. Anyways, I was abused a lot, and at the time my mom had 3 kids back home, and we all were abused, but I feel like I got the worst of it, and I don't know what happened between her and my dad, but apparently he treated her badly, and I don't think I'll ever really know the whole truth about it, because she never really talks about it much, unless like sometimes when she would like um abuse me, and then I would yell about it because I'm upset and emotional. Um, so I would bring it up. I wouldn't bring it up otherwise, because I know the way it would be. Like, it's hard to have a conversation with her without it turning into some kind of argument. And I was scared, and for a long time, even as an adult, I was still scared of her. But as an adult now, I'm no longer scared. And that's one of the things that's why I consider myself a work in progress. One of the things I'm trying to get over, you know. I feel like I'm still traumatized by a lot of things that I've been through as an adult as well as a kid. But it's just sad that a lot of parents don't take accountability for their part in the problem. The problem. What is wrong with you? What happened to you? And sadly, a lot of people who were abused are not able to say that because of all the things that happened to me, it made me want to be a better person. And this is why I'm doing what I'm doing with this channel. It made me want to be a better person. All that I've been through, even to this day, all the bad and disappointing things that I've been through just makes me want to be a better person. But at the same time, I know I have to protect, and I'm learning this too as well. And this is why I know I have to let go of trying to be a peacemaker, and taking on too many problems that are not my own, taking on other people's, um, you know, worries and things like that. Because at the end of the day, like, I need to take care of me too. I need to take care of me too. And I still care. I'll always care about trying to make a difference, but I also gotta keep my peace. And I'm grateful for all the things that I've been through because they made me stronger and want to be a better person. So when these parents like wonder why their kid is not like them, maybe it's because they don't want to be like you. I don't want to be like you. I may never be perfect, but I know if I ever become a parent, I will be an amazing parent because I will do all the things that you never did for me. And I'm not talking about financially because I gotta give you, you did try, but there are other areas that you could have done better. So don't look at me saying this and think that I'm saying that, oh, you didn't try your best in certain areas. You did, because you could have given me up. You could have thrown me away and never turned back. But I'm still grateful for you bringing me here to Canada. And that's another thing that you throw in my face a lot. And I don't want to get into it because it really hurts that you throw these things in my face as if I was supposed to be responsible for myself as a baby, as a child. You already know I forgive you, Mom. I do. Most importantly, for my own peace. That's why I forgive you. But again, like I said, sadly, a lot of people can't say, a lot of people who are abused by parents, and maybe other people as well, can't say that all those things made me want to be a better person. So I'm grateful. I always tell people, you choose what experience you want me to have in your life. Because at the end of the day, I'm only going to learn from it. I meet a lot of people, and people are usually telling me, "Oh, I wish I had known you a long time ago," or "You make me feel so comfortable. I wish I had known you long years ago." Or you make me feel like, even though I don't know you that well, you make me feel like I've known you years. But unfortunately, I usually don't. That same feeling is not reciprocated on my part because people just don't usually allow me to be comfortable around them. Usually because of their own selfish needs. But it's okay. Like I said, I'll still be who I am. I just gotta learn how to, and I'm learning how to just care about people, but still put my own health first and to not take on problems that are out of my control. I can still listen to people. I can still try to give advice if they ask for it. But I can't make you change. I can't solve your issues if you don't want them to be solved. Like they say, you can only, what's the saying? You can carry a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, or whatever the saying is. I'm just grateful that all these bad things only made me want to be a better person. And I just only wish that a lot of people who thought they knew me really knew me, or really know me for who I really am and not what they've heard. Because a lot of people don't really take the time to really get to know who I am. They hear what people have to say about me in order to try to label me the bad person. But yet, I'm the one who's usually trying to make peace. And that's another thing that a lot of people have a hard time to like acknowledging that I am the person to usually try to make peace. Not that they don't, they probably do see it, but they don't want to acknowledge it because I guess I don't deserve that credit. I guess I don't deserve that credit. I have felt so horrible most of my life about myself because of how the person that's supposed to be my mom made me feel. But no more. I'm grateful for all that you've done for me, but some things I wish you would have never done because some things just hurt worse than others. Like I said, I'm not going to get into too much details. If I ever feel like in the future I feel like sharing a little bit more, I might. But I just don't want to get into too much deep details because I know I'm going to get emotional. I know I'm going to get emotional. I was also, once I moved, oh, let me say another thing that I remember as a child. I remember my little brother and I mean, he's older than me, my older brother at the time, but we were back home. I remember sometimes we used to sleep in the bush because we were too scared to go home. When we moved here to Canada, sometimes when we used to live in a building, sometimes I slept on the stairs of the building because I was beaten and kicked out. Usually pushed out the door, literally. Pushed out the door. And then once we moved into a house, keys were taken away from me. And sometimes I had to find somewhere to sleep because I didn't want to sleep on the streets. I don't think she knows this, but a lot of times I used to purposely try to come home late because I was scared to come home earlier. I just didn't want to have to deal with her. I didn't want to have to see her. So I came home late, not because I was out there up to no good, but because I was scared to come home late. And one of my friends here in Canada I don't know what her intentions were, but she told her that I would talk about my abuse at home in school. Like I would tell her and about my abuse. I really don't know what her intentions were. Maybe she didn't believe me because of what my mom told her. But yeah. These things are just so painful, but at the same time it's like I know I'm not the only one who has a problem. The only thing is that some people just have a hard time taking accountability, reflecting, and just admitting that they had a big role in traumatizing their kids. Like I said, once again, I'm gonna say I'm grateful that all these things that I've been through have made me the person I am today. Because a lot of people who were abused, they were never strong enough to break the cycle. I hope some of us, more of us will eventually, because it's never too late. But I gotta say, I've never, I don't want to put other people through what I went through. Not my own kids, not anybody else. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I don't want this video to be any longer than it already is. So I'm gonna stop here, and I really can't get into any more details because I know I'm gonna get emotional, and I don't want to do this right now. I can't handle it right now. Not in this moment. But yeah, I hope this is just gonna get you, the audience, to understand a little bit more who I am and why I may appear different, because I am different. But some people might think there's something wrong with me, and if that's what you want to believe, go ahead and believe it. But I am who I am. I know who I am. Whether you believe it or not, it really doesn't matter to me. But this is my way of trying to get you to look at it from my perspective, and hopefully you understand that things aren't always what they seem, unfortunately.